Hey guys, welcome back to Mocha's Magic. It's me, Ali Mocha. Today's video is one that I personally really feel for. It's an anti-bullying video. It's obviously makeup. Face paint Friday, guys. But it's kind of showing the way that a lot of people feel when they are bullied. The not being able to speak, the not being able to ask for people to help you. So I'll be depicting that in my own way. I will also be kind of showing the two different sides of each person who has this problem. And when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, the happy fun side and then the sad depressing side. I mean like the what we really are inside just kind of coming out, the feelings, as well as the really kind of just the sadness, the depression that can come with bullying, and just kind of showing the two ways that that plays on. You'll get it when you see it, hopefully, fingers crossed. But without further ado, I'm gonna have you stop looking at me with no makeup and start watching me put on makeup. You guys enjoy. The first thing we're gonna do, like always, is just prime the face. I can't tell you how important it is to prime your face every time, no matter what, even if it's for a small little look like this. A lot of primers have some good qualities in them, like moisturizers and things like that, to counter the harsh effects of using makeup. It can be really bad for your skin. For me, I know I get acne breakouts every time. My next video, you'll see how bad my acne got from just this video alone. The next thing I'm doing is I'm putting latex around my mouth and then tissue paper. I have the 1-ply, if I'm correct, and I'm just taking the two sheets, the really thin little sheets there, and pulling them apart so they have the thinnest layer I could possibly have. And I'm just going to continuously repeat this, put latex on it, rip the edges off, and form that shape around my mouth so it's fully covered and it doesn't even look like, my mouth's there. Clearly, we're all going to know my mouth's there, and it's going to become a little obvious once I start trying to talk or I laugh, things like that. Once I'm done putting the latex and tissue paper over my mouth to cover my mouth, I let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to spread it out to my cheeks to give it that effect of actually having a tape over my mouth, because if you have it, you're not just going to have it in a circle shape around your mouth. It's most likely going to stretch out past your mouth, and tape is rectangle, like we all know, rectangular. Once I'm done with one side of my face, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other, make it even. And as you can see, I am completely covering the tissue paper. I'm not letting it just have a little bit. Otherwise, when I try to paint over it, the tissue paper is just going to get soggy and wet from the water paints, and it's going to tear, and it's going to be completely pointless to have done what I did. So I got to completely cover it with the latex. And then we're just going to let that dry before we move on to painting the fake tape silver. Now, obviously, if you wanted, you could just use regular duct tape. That works too. But for this case, I didn't have any, and regular duct tape hurts just about as much as latex does, so it didn't affect me any differently. There, we're just painting it silver. Another fun thing with the tissue paper and the latex, it actually kind of gives that rough duct tape kind of texture, almost as if you didn't put it on evenly and perfectly. There's like air bubbles in it, stuff like that. Actually gives it a fun look. I scratch till my fingers go numb. I tried to paint a darker line around the edge of my duct tape just to make it a little bit more realistic. As you can see, I'm wiping a lot of it off. It turned out to be really thick and didn't look very good. There's something that lives inside me. I promise I never let it out. Oh. Once I've finished with the duct tape, I do a small amount of contouring on my cheekbone area as well as on my forehead. And I also do a highlight. This look would be incomplete if I didn't do that. I move on after that to doing my real me side, my emotions, everything all bundled into one. And for this look, I'm doing a rainbow. Not a full rainbow. I got red, yellow, a little bit of, well, red, orange, yellow, a little bit of green, and some blue. And I did try to get some purple in at the end. I'm using these lipsticks for my eyeshadow part, just because they blend nicely. And they're probably the equivalent of a cream makeup. You can use regular eyeshadow if you wish, but I don't have all the colors of the rainbow in eyeshadow at the moment. Once I finish up doing my eyelid, I move on to using my water paints to create a tear effect under my eye, and I'm mimicking the same pattern as I did on my eyelid: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and a little bit of purple. The first drip I do kind of went a little too far. I used too much water, so I stopped it at the duct tape portion. If you want, you can go past the duct tape, but it's all up to preference. I wanted to try to keep it just in its own little area. It also is nice if you do more than one dribble for each color, otherwise you're not going to really be able to get all the way across your lower lid. I tried to do both small, big, long, and short dribbles, just to kind of make it not all the same and make it look forced. And I also let gravity do its own work and drag the drips down. I didn't want to paint them on my own face. I'm not good at doing a drip effect just with my own hands.
With ignorance a virtue, the question is a sin. Is there no remedy for the state that we are in? With knowledge on a leash, it's like a terminal disease, and we won't be awake to see that we are fake.
I did consider using the paints to brighten my eyelid up and make it darker, but I did change my mind, as you can see. Instead, I just did more of like an eyeliner at the lower lid portion. I should have said the bottom of my upper lid, not the lower lid. The water paints would have got in my eye at that point. Okay, and after I'm done with the rainbow side, the fun, the emotion, my actual feelings coming out, I move on to putting down a white base on my other eyelid and shadowing in with a black, kind of fading it into the white, giving it a little bit more gray, black, and white. Because this is going to be the depression, the darkness eating you up. And then I do a white highlight in my inner eye, just to kind of emphasize the white as well. And then like in the rainbow side, I mimic the colors on the lower lid. I use the highlight in order to get the white over to the lower lid, and then I fill in black for the rest and fade in and get that gray. Once I'm done with that, I use a black eyeliner and paint that on, and then I go on to painting on words that I've been called personally. I wanted to make this look as personal as I could. to also show that this is more of a me look. I don't know if this is how everyone is. I can't say we all have colorful emotion that we feel just overwhelming us, and I can't say we all struggled with asking for help. But this is how I felt when I personally was bullied. And so I'm just kind of writing in the words that I've been called, the things that people have said to me. Some of the words are not necessarily appropriate for me to say out loud. I then go on to write help on the duct tape to kind of show that that's what it's there for. That duct tape is preventing you from being able to cry out and say help, to ask for the help you need. And then I go on to draw some tears in on my dark depression side, because that's the only color that escapes, is that bluey color of your tears. I did try to make these kind of realistic but more cartoonish. And there you have it. That's the final look right there. Tears and all.
We keep getting lost in the distractions of the day. Now history's repeating, and the cycle we must break. So come, my friends, it's time that you awake. We will be free, we'll be released.
As you can see, I'm trying to get the pictures for my Instagram. You'll see that picture in a little bit.
We won't give up.